Hello, everyone, and today I had a great idea. Actually, I started thinking this yesterday when I was outside just messing around a bit. I was thinking I want to do a short video series, and I want to do it on a very good idea that could change how people play Unturned. I started thinking, what would be nice and simple to add that is not complicated, but would definitely change Unturned? And I thought, seasons. There are so few games that actually have seasons in them. Out of all the zombie survival games I have ever played, only one game has had seasons. It was called Cataclysm DDA. I do have some videos up on it. Those were from a long time ago, so I was very bad at it and everything. But there was season. There was spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each one brought its own challenge and everything. Anyway, I thought, why not do that to Unturned? So this is going to be a 5 long video series. I'm going to talk about some things in this video. Then I'm going to do a video for each season, talk about the good and the bad, and some of the things that will happen in each season. So first off, temperature should be brought back. Not like before. It shouldn't be like you reach a certain temperature and all of a sudden you're freezing and losing health. What it should be is that once you get too cold, you can get frostbite. That means your movements are slower, and overall, it's not good for you. You can get heat stroke, which your vision will start getting blurred. Your movements will get less controllable, and overall, it is again bad. You can counteract this by like drinking lots of water and not having a very high temperature. Um, Again with the cold, your vision will you'll start going to tunnel vision. You'll get like this black ring around the edge of your screen, and then as you get colder and colder, it'll get narrower and narrower. I probably mispronounced that, but I'm not good at saying that word. But you'll get less and less vision. Your vision will keep progressing to black. Once it goes all black, you're in big trouble. For one, you can't see. Two, at that point, you're so cold, you're near death. At this point, once your vision starts like going black like that, you're hyperthermic at that point. That means you're literally dying. You're freezing to death, and once you get hyperthermic, that is a huge issue. But I want to see temperature added again, not how it was implemented, but how you have to keep at a certain temperature. Of course, you'll get cold, and let's say at a certain temperature, you can get a sickness, which will raise up your sickness meter. You'll have things like coughing, um, your breathing. Like it'll be a radiant sound that will attract zombies, and players can hear it too. Heat stroke, you'll have to deal with that. I mean, being hot, it won't really bother you as much. But I would like to see the hotter you get, your vision starts getting a little blurred. It shouldn't be at like 20 degrees Fahrenheit you get blurry vision, but it should be once you get into the extreme of about, I think, maybe 100+ degrees. That's when you need to start worrying, and because I think the normal temperature for a human body is about 96.7. I could be wrong on that. It's been a long time since I heard whatever the human body temperature is, but after you're getting a little too hot, that's when you should start having to deal with heat stroke. But that's something I want to see re-added to the game that we would have to deal with. Because what would be the point of all these different seasons if we don't have to worry about dying from the cold, dying from the heat, or whatever? Another thing, if you get too hot with heat stroke, you should pass out. That's something I like to see. You pass out for a certain amount of time. and then you wake up, if you wake up at all. But again, this can be counteracted by managing your heat, drinking lots of water, and even jumping into the water can cool you down. So there's more ways to combat heat stroke. So it's not going to be like it's not gonna heat stroke is not going to be this malevolent force you cannot stop. And to combat hypothermia, frostbite, getting cold and everything, you can wear clothes, you can make a campfire, there should be heat packs added. Uh, Things like that. Next, would be how the zombies would change. Each season would affect the zombies, it would affect the plants, the trees, it would affect everything. But I want to see seasons added to add the new challenge to survival. At least in single player, once you get to a certain point, then it's no longer a challenge. At least these new seasons, for at least a while, would make a challenge. And maybe even like some random events during these seasons. Like raining during spring and summer and fall, snowing during winter, maybe a tornado, possibly. Just ideas. I don't think a tornado would be added. But add weather, that's another thing. The Unturned in general has never had a weather system, I believe. There could have been one. No, wait, yeah, excuse me. There was raining in Unturned. I completely forgot about that because it's been so long since I've played. There was raining. But other than that, there was absolutely no weather system. I like to see things like thunderstorms, heavy winds. Like, the heavy winds don't have to really do anything as far as just obscuring your hearing. Like, have howling winds. That would definitely affect your hearing. Maybe have it affect bullets. I don't know how hard wind would be to put into a game, but at least the audio would add something. Another short thing would be adding in more audio, because right now, I remember way back when I was testing the berries, and I would like eat the different berries that would give the hallucinogenic effects. I remember hearing all the different sounds. I thought, this would make the game more interesting if there's more audio to it. It's like rustling of leaves, wind, maybe you can hear different things. Like maybe as a random at random, you may step on a stick and hear it break. It's just add audio to the game. Because right now, the audio is just bland, honestly. But we're reaching the end of this video. I'm going to be doing spring for the first season. After that, summer, fall, and then finally winter. I may do a 6th episode. It'd be 6 if you count all of them. Like this one, the 4th season, then maybe another video to probably refine the idea of it and fix it. Another thing I want to say is that seasons should be changeable. What I mean by when you host a dedicated server, you can choose season length. It can be 1 day for the seasons. It can be 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, or 14 days. That way you can customize, like say, you want it every 3 days so it keeps fresh and interesting. Then the morning of every 3rd day will probably change. Like it would change. It would just give you the different seasons. But anyway, that's the end for this video. I'm going to do spring next, talk about the benefits, the downsides, everything. So I will see you then.